crafting journey here, that journey chick on Instagram. Welcome! It's November 1st. Halloween is over. But yes, the monster family is still on my table. I'm determined to finish it now. I've got like this little corner here. Let me show you, because I was kind of doing some cross-country diamond painting, which means I was all over the place, just trying to get it done. Oh boy. So, glow in the dark. It does glow in the dark, but I can't figure out how to take a picture without the flash, because it really does glow in the dark. So, all right, so nothing under this one, but there is stuff under this one and this one. So yeah, I've got all this over here and this corner here and this. All right, I got a lot. So don't make fun of me. I was trying. I need to finish up my sister's blanket, so I was working on that. I was working on the temperature blanket as well. And I really do enjoy the crocheting. I love crocheting. I really do. So, yeah. But I did work on this yesterday during the Zoom that I had at 4 p.m. And I'm so many lovely people. I'm so glad to see everybody on Sundays. It's wonderful when I get to meet the subscribers in the Zooms and we just get to chit chat and I get to see what you look like. Yeah, I always have fun with that. Yeah, I found one of my darning needles on the floor. And these are my good ones. So, yeah, I think I was using it in the Craft With Me Wednesday. So I get the People magazine and I found the coolest thing. You know, because Halloween is over. So you know what that means. It means, ready? I'll wait for it. Hallmark movies. Yep. Christmas countdown on the Hallmark channel. So they have this little thing that you can scan here. It says download the checklist app. I did not realize it was an app. So I'm thinking I'm just going to download the checklist and pass it along to you guys. So here's a simple way of doing this, since I can't give you the little barcode. Go to your, if you're on an iOS, go to the Apple Store and just put in Hallmark movie checklist. And there is an app. And it comes up and you say, get the app. Let me show you. Hallmark movie checklist. So I downloaded the app. Now we're going to open it and see what we got here. I haven't opened this yet, so we're going to find out together if we have a checklist. Okay, what do we have? Oh, instructions. Okay, browse current and upcoming titles. Watch and check off titles as you go. Tune in times, premiere dates, trailers, cast information, and more at your fingertips. Receive alerts when your chosen airings are starting. Okay, so we're going to say next. Browse titles, swipe through the titles, and tap to view more titles. So there's all kinds of titles of all the movies here. Next. Watch trailers, set reminders, and track titles you want to watch or have watched. So if you want to watch it, just add it to your list. That's kind of cool. And you can create an account which will allow you to sync your watch list between all your devices. Oh my gosh. I'm going to skip that for now. All right, let's see if we have a checklist. Oh, now I got to enter my zip code. Oh dear. Okay. I guess so okay, then you have to pick your provider. Okay, Cox. This is a lot of work for the checklist. Stay up to date with notifications. Oh, okay, yeah, you can notify me. What the heck? Okay, do you want to watch the 31 premieres or do you want to watch all 122 movies? We're going to go with the premieres for now. How about that? So they're going to remind me when the premieres are. Do you want to make a quick selection to get started? Okay, I want to watch the 9 premieres. Okay. Okay. All right. We finally have the checklist. So, premiering the Christmas sale. Oh my goodness. Look at all these. Gingerbread Miracle, A Christmas Treasure. Oh, that's got Jordan, oh, I forget her name. A Christmas Together with You. They all have, it's all the same story. They just mix up the actors and the places where they film it. But anyway, so I thought that would be a cool thing. If you guys want it, you know, some of you I know are avid Hallmark watchers, so me too. Who doesn't love, Christmas in Harmony, Coyote Creek Christmas, 12 Gifts of Christmas, A Christmas Carousel. Now, I've seen that one. That's from last year. I don't want to watch last year's. I just want to watch this year's. Okay. So November 6th, which is this weekend. Which one's that? November 6th is The Christmas Miracle by Debbie McCumber. Oh, I like Debbie McCumber. Okay. So we're going to watch that one on November 6th. So all new holiday movies every Friday, Saturday, and Sundays at 8 o'clock. Okay. We're done with the countdown to Christmas. So that's that. Just go and download the app that says Hallmark Movie Checklist, and you've got it. Okay, that's the show for today. Just kidding. Okay, what do we usually do? We usually do our planner. Let's get up. I did not do any planning for this week. I have not made a November. What? Oh, you didn't? I didn't. I just forgot all about it. And look, it's empty. What? Well, we could remedy that real quick. Oh, I've got my Cocoa Daisy stuff here. Let's just get out the Cocoa Daisy stuff and we'll just put some Cocoa Daisy stuff on it, right? Right. Okay, we got some washi tape. Let's do washi tape. We can do this real quick. Well, hello, Stitch. Thank you for joining us. There, we got some washi tape. Let's put some over here because it's pretty. What you doing, Stitch? I usually do this in the Zoom, and I was so busy working on this canvas. Hello, buddy. Hello. Hello. Oh, goodness gravy. What do you think of that heater over there, huh? What do you think of it? You've gotten past coming in here. Say, yeah, I'm here, Mom. Ooh, let's put some, no, stop, no. We're not playing with the pencils. No. We could put like a little piece of pumpkin pie here. Because it's November, it's pumpkin month. Here, let's put some pumpkin pie there. Why not? You're making a mess. Stop. What are you doing? Stop. Now my tweezers are on the floor. Oh my gosh, this cat. Oh, I love him, but he's a handful. Oh, here we go. Here's some autumn stuff. Here's a pretty owl. Pretty owl. Yeah, it just says autumn. We'll put that over here, over this one. Yep, and then we'll put the hot coffees over here. Yep, that works out quite nicely, doesn't it? Oh, and then we can put like one of these. I like to put one of these little stickers under each day, just to make it a little kind of festive. Colorful. Did y'all have a nice weekend? I did. I did, like I said, I did a lot of diamond painting, crocheting. Saturday, I slept all day. Coming down off that prednisone, oh man, I just crashed hard. I literally slept the entire day. What does this say? The season of change. Yeah, let's put that here. We're just going to put that right there because it's pretty. What else do we have here? Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Pumpkin spice and everything nice. Okay, we can put that over here. Ooh, fresh air. Oh, we like fresh air. Fresh air, don't care. I don't have any bills to pay. Oh, that's not true. You know what? That's next week. I just decorated next week. Oh, well. We'll decorate this week tomorrow. I'm so silly. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, we got next week done. So let's just write in. We're not going to sit here and do this week. We'll do it later. Oh my gosh. All right. So today is National Brush Your Teeth Day. Okay, brush your teeth day. And we have an assassination attempt on President Truman. Okay. Goodness gravy. Now, I did not do the giveaway yesterday because apparently the comment picker has not caught up to YouTube technology yet. I did the comments on the short video. That, you know, YouTube Shorts is in beta. Not everybody has them. I have them. I've been doing the shorts. However, and when you do the comment picker, you have to go to the video, get the URL. So I go to the video, the short video, get the URL, paste it into the comment picker, and it doesn't work because whoever has developed these comment pickers have not developed them to the point where they can pick up the comments off of the shorts. So what I'm going to have to do the next day or two is get all of the names of people who left a comment. I will put that on a wheel. I'll spin the wheel, and somebody will win a Diamond Art Club gift card. The good news is you have more time if you haven't put in to win. I'll put a link to that video. Please leave a comment. I'll pull off the name and put it on the wheel. He is very curious today. So I do apologize for that because I was going to go live last night, 8 o'clock, and pull a winner. Couldn't do it. So, oh, low battery. Okay. It is National Brush Your Teeth Day. Do you know why today is National Brush Your Teeth Day? Because yesterday was Halloween. Yes, the largest consumption of candy that happens in this country happens yesterday. Even I had some Reese's, and I had some ice cream too. Anyway, but so today is the day we teach our kids, hey, you had all that candy yesterday. You need to be brushing your teeth twice a day, especially after you eat the candy. Let's go brush our teeth. Teach your kids a song like Row, Row, Row Your Boat so that they are brushing their teeth at least a couple of minutes. And this is also a good day if you're an older person like me. Throw out all those old toothbrushes, get a new toothbrush. Today's the day to go get yourself a new toothbrush and then start fresh. I love brushing my teeth. I'm obsessed with brushing my teeth. I brush my teeth like 4 times a day. I have a toothbrush at work. Yeah. So I brush my teeth a lot. I have the cleanest teeth in town. See? Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Let's do some diamond painting, shall we? Shall we? Okay, let's pick a color. Okie dokie. All right, this one right here. Yellow. That means I need the darker tray. Darker tray, darker tray. So, crafting and crime. Let's talk about crafting and crime, shall we? Because we're all going to brush our teeth, and we're all going to get new toothbrushes today. Yes, because this is the day to do it. Rebecca said, get a new toothbrush. Go do it. Okay. I noticed yesterday a lot of my things were not sticky anymore. Now they're sticky. Okay, well, maybe I fixed it. Or maybe not. Where's my wax? Where's the wax? When I'm too lazy to put glue dots in, I use heart wax. And I did pick up some off the floor today that the cat stole. I don't know what I did with it. Crafting and crime. The trial of Markeith Loyd. He's on trial for the murder of Officer Deborah Clayton. Well, you know the jury is sequestered, so they went ahead and had trial on Saturday. I told you Friday that I thought the defendant was going to testify. So I listened all day Friday, and it was boring testimony. The defense put on an expert in crime scene investigation, and she went after the fact and found what she believed was markings from a bullet, a stray bullet that she felt had hit right under the windowsill where the carts are stored at Walmart. And this must be related to Officer Clayton firing her gun. So, which goes along with the defense's theory that she shot first, and that was where the shot went. I don't know, whatever. Then the next expert they put on was a video specialist, and he was explaining to the jury that the surveillance video from Walmart is filmed in five frames per second in order to be able to store the amount of footage that they need 24 hours a day. So what he did was he enhanced it to a higher frame rate so that it had a better quality. So we never get to see the video anyway. So I don't know if this helped show anything better, or, you know, because we don't get to see the video. Only the jurors get to see the actual footage of the shooting. But he allegedly enhanced it so we never got to hear from Markeith Loyd on Friday. So I'm thinking, oh, so we have to wait till Monday? No. Saturday morning, I sit down to Diamond Paint, and there's Markeith. He's taking the stand. They had trial on Saturday because the jury's sequestered, and the judge is like, oh, we got to move this thing along. You know, we have to stay on track. And so he got on the stand and testified. So, of course, what they do when they have a defendant like Markeith is they go ahead and they put him on the stand outside the presence of the jury. The jury's out in their little room. That Markeith shuffles up there with his handcuffed feet because he's crazy, this guy. And he sits on the stand and they swear him in. So all that's done. So the jury doesn't see the shackles on his feet and all that stuff. He's dressed in regular clothes. So he takes the stand, and under the direct examination of his attorney, he starts telling his story. And I got to tell you, by the end of his testimony, I found him to be quite likable. Yeah, I did. Quite likable, but, and I hate to agree with the defense, but he's very delusional. His thinking isn't right when it comes to the cops. But he's only delusional when it's kind of convenient to be delusional. And we'll get to that in a little while. So he's got like the whole Fresh Prince story, you know, growing up in West Philadelphia. Do, 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 do. And that song is going through my head. All right, so he's raised in Orlando in a very rough neighborhood called Carver Shores. Now, I grew up in Orlando. I went to high school in Orlando. And I don't remember this neighborhood, but probably because I didn't grow up there. But I just don't remember the reference, Carver Shores. Now, he's probably much younger than I am, so that's probably why. So he says his father died when he was 3 or 4 years old. He says his father was in the Air Force and he died. Now, that's all he knew to tell us. And that from the time he was 5 years old to the time he was 15 years old, he played football. So organized sports, he played football. And then the neighborhood that he grew up in, you either became a drug dealer or you committed robberies. So at 15 years old, he decides he's going to become a drug dealer. Now, he says he never took drugs other than the occasional marijuana, but he's going to be a drug dealer. He also described that he watched many movies that were consistent with racism, like Roots and things like that. So he developed this theory that the white people were out to get him, the white men were out to get the black men. And then he was taught, you know, through his gang affiliations that if the cops come, you run. You don't hang around, you run. And so that's the mindset that he grew up with, you know, that the white people are against him and that if the cops come, you run. There came a time when his mother was not providing for him and his siblings. She was, I don't know if she was doing drugs, but she was bringing home stray men and things were not good at home. So in order for him to take care of his family, he had to, you know, steal food and clothes. At one point when he was 15, his mother drove him to a psychiatric facility, and she said it was because he was dealing drugs. She said, you know, I want you to go in and get evaluated. So he's like, well, okay, you know, and he claims they said there was nothing wrong with him. And he could only stay if he checked himself in voluntarily, so he did. But then they wanted to medicate him, and he doesn't like medicine. And he called his mom and said, "Come get me," so she came and got him. It's weird, yeah. So I'm surmising that they don't have any of those records, or else we would have known what they say. He claims that he is not mentally ill. He's never been diagnosed with a mental illness, even though he did spend some time in that mental hospital. He claims that at 15 years old, he was kidnapped. He and another boy, they were on the streets, and this gang picked him up, accused him of something. I don't know what they were being accused of. I didn't follow the whole story, but they were being accused of doing something against this gang, so they got beat up, and they had to make restitution to this gang. So, yeah, rough life. So then the questioning turned to the events regarding the Dixon murder, which is the murder of his ex-girlfriend. Now, he claims to have gone over her house at her invitation, that they had been talking on the phone, and that she invited him to come over by text and by in their phone call. They had been having an argument. They had broken up. He had been seeing other women. He slept with another woman that day. So she was kind of pissed off because she's pregnant with his kid. She's not having this. She's like, I'm not having your baby. No, I'm not having this kid. So he comes over at her invitation, he says, to talk to her about this, because he thinks that getting an abortion is her mother's idea. So now, and she's there with her mother. So he's trying to talk some sense into her. So he always carries 2 weapons. He says they're on, one on each hip, like he's in the wild, wild west. So he gets out of his car and he's got both weapons on him. He approaches her and they have this conversation, and at one point she goes in the house and then comes back out with a gun pointed at him. So now he gets his gun out, and he's trying to get the gun away from her, and eventually he does get the gun away from her. And they start talking again. Now, meanwhile, the brother comes out. Her brother comes out, and he's like, get out of here. And he's like, no, we're good, we're good. And she's apparently telling her brother the same thing. We're good. We're square. We're just talking. So, but her brother starts a scuffle, and Markeith ends up shooting her brother twice. And during this scuffle, the gun that he took away from her falls to the ground. Somehow it gets to the ground. In his mind, she picked that gun up. He didn't see her pick the gun up, but his belief is that she picked up the gun. So he turns around and starts shooting her. And the defense is like, well, how many times did you shoot her? Well, I don't know. It's a gun battle. Like, he thinks you just shoot. You just keep shooting. So he shoots her. She goes down. He doesn't remember how many times. He leaves. He's going towards his vehicle to flee, as there's 2 people opening the front door. He points his gun at the front door. They close the door. He shoots at the door twice. And they're like, well, why did you do that? Because they were going to come after me. He's like, and he kept explaining, I'm not scared of anyone, but if you're going to come after my life, I'm going to defend my life. If you're going to shoot me, I'm going to shoot you first. I don't know. So, and they're like, well, why did you flee? If you believe that the shooting was justified, why did you flee? Because I felt like the people in the house were coming after me. So well, why didn't you go to the cops and tell them what happened? No, because they would kill me. He says, I was trying to get my head straight. I was trying, he's like, I was kind of in a blackout, so I needed to get my head straight. That's why I didn't go to the police. So by the time he thought about going to the police and turning himself in, by then he claims the police had passed on information to the journalist that was incorrect, that he had just gone up to the house, opened the door, she comes to the door, he starts shooting her, which he said that's not how it happened. So he wanted to turn himself in, but he's not going to do that with incorrect information because the cops are going to kill him. So he's telling the cops, I'll turn myself in if you retract that story and tell the journalists what really happened. And they're like, we don't have any control over journalists. So he's like, I'm not turning myself in. So meanwhile, he's living in the woods with this bum. He's praying to God. He's, And he said God showed him a sign. He's like, I needed a bulletproof vest because I knew that they were going to try to kill me. And God sent me a bulletproof vest. He said, I was walking around one day and uh, there was a man with a bulletproof vest. And he says, hey, can I buy that off you? And the guy says, yeah, $200. So he hands him $200. And they're like, where did you get that money? He's like, well, I had that money on me the night that I went over to his girlfriend's house. He had that money on him. So he had money with him. A lot, apparently. So he buys this bulletproof vest, which he believes was sent to him by God to protect him from the police. So he decides that he's going to go to the Walmart because he wants to sit down to go to the bathroom. He's tired of going to, shitting in the woods. Frankly, and he wanted to go sit down have a sit down. So plus he wanted to get some food. So he goes to the Walmart and he explains that he's walking around and there's somebody else in the bathroom. So now he's got to wait. He's like, oh God. And God, the guy was taking forever. And he's like, man, I really had to go. So he's like, he says, I even considered going in the women's room, but I didn't want to scare anybody. So instead, he goes, I go and start my shopping. So he gets his water and whatever he was going to get. And then he goes back. The guy's gone. He goes in and he has his sit down. He comes out, goes and gets the rest of the stuff that he needs at the Walmart, pulls his cart to the register, and he sees this cop in line at the register. And he thought she was fine looking, to quote him. That was Officer Dixon. And because he didn't want her to recognize him, he changes lanes. He goes over to a lane that wasn't open, and he gets in line there. And as he's getting in line there, the woman that was with her nephew that had gone to get a cashier comes back with the cashier, tells him, hey, I was in line ahead of you. So he says, like, okay, you can go ahead of me. So she goes ahead of him. She checks out. She gets her groceries. She leaves. And we know from later testimony or earlier testimony that she goes out and talks to Officer Clayton, and because she has figured out who this guy is. That's, he's married to her cousin. So, or was married to her cousin. Apparently he's quite the ladies' man. I don't know. So now he knows the cop has left. He recognized that she was a police officer. He says, yes, I knew she was a police officer. She had the police uniform on. I knew she was a police officer. She's already outside. The woman in front of him is outside. So he checks out. He's pushing his cart out. And as he's exiting, he has a gun in his face. Now, he doesn't know who's got the gun. He just sees a gun in his face. So now he had taken a gun in with him. Remember, he always carries those two guns. And they're just not in a holster. They're just tucked into his pants. But on this occasion, he only took one gun in with him, and he left the other one in the car. So he takes the gun with him, and once he's exiting, he sees this gun in his face. He ducks under the cart, and he tries to flee behind a pillar. Now, he says he went that direction because he knows there's some woods in that direction, and he's going to run towards those woods if he can. But then he hears a gunshot. When he hears the gunshot, that's when he pulls out his weapon. Now, these are all his words. This is his story. He hears a gunshot. That's when he pulls out his weapon, turns around, and starts firing. Now, Officer Clayton is running away, and they say to him, why did you shoot her as she's running away? And he says, because as she's running away, she's shooting behind her. Which, that's the motion that he made. She's shooting behind her. So he shoots her in the back. And and then he explains, it was a gun battle. And because they're like, why did you keep shooting? Well, she was shooting. I'm not going to stop shooting until she stops shooting. It's a gun battle. And I'm thinking, this is not the Wild West, guy. I mean, like, I'm in a gun battle. So he says, my intention was not to stand over her and finish her off. He was aiming at her vest because he had this belief that if you shot the vest, it would make the person unconscious, and then she would stop shooting. So he was going to shoot her vest, and to get her to stop shooting. So once he fires however many shots he fired, we know he fired a total of 4 into her. There was much more gunfire than that. Apparently, each of them shot at least 8 rounds. It was truly a gun battle. God bless those people that were out there, just innocent bystanders to this gun battle. So once she stops shooting, he's like, I got to get out of here because they're going to kill me. So he gets into his car and he takes off. Now he's being chased by another officer. So he wants to get away from this other officer. So he realizes, he doesn't want it to be a high-speed chase because that's going to put other people in danger. And he doesn't want to put anybody else in danger. So he pulls over, gets out of his vehicle. The officer that was behind him gets out of his vehicle, and he fires a shot at that officer. And he's like, no, it was just a warning shot so I could get away. And apparently it worked. It didn't hit the officer, and he gets away. So he runs. This is the point where he runs to the apartment building, and he sees another. He's like, God sent me another car. He says, as I'm approaching this apartment building, another car pulls in. And so he just told the guy, hey, give me your keys. And he thought the guy knew that, could see that he was in trouble and was going to help him. Yeah, that this guy was sent to help him. So, and the guy says to him, are you serious? He's like, so that's when he showed him his guns. Yes, I'm serious. Give me your keys. So the guy throws the keys in the air. He gets the keys. He takes off. The reason he didn't go out the way you should go out is he says it was a one-way. And he didn't want to go that way because the cops would be coming in that way and they would kill him. So then he decides he's going to, drive through a fence and go up this other way, and he gets away. And then we know he's on the run for 8 days. He goes up to Volusia County for a little while. He comes back. But to end that story, when he took off out with that guy's car, he drives it for a little while, gets out of the car, and God sent him a bus. This bus pulls up. He gets on it, pays the fare, and he's gone. So that's how come they found the car abandoned quite soon after it was taken. He just gets away on a bus, a city bus. So he's caught 8 days later. So, and he explains how he turned himself in finally. He knew that they were watching him. He was in his particular house, and he heard a helicopter, flying overhead, and he peeked out and he saw cops. So he decides he's going to turn himself in, and he opens the door and he waves a white flag. I don't know what white flag he had. Nobody found a white flag. I think he was waving his shirt because he said he threw out his shirt. First he waved the white flag, but I think meant he was waving his shirt. So he throws out his shirt, then he closes the door. Then he opens the door, throws out a gun, then he says he closes the door. He opens the door, he throws out another gun, then he closes the door. Then he gets down as close to the ground as he can because he wanted to create as little body surface as he could for them to shoot at him. Now he's still got his bulletproof vest on. So he's crawling out to the cops, and what we do not get to hear, because I'm sure there's been motions to that we don't get to hear it. But the cops beat the heck out of him. He lost one eye in during this capture. But we don't get to hear that. If you see a picture of Markeith Loyd, you can tell, he's got one good eye and one bad eye, and apparently he was very heavily admonished by the judge that you cannot mention that, and when he starts to say, I've come out and I'm headed towards the cops, and you could tell he was going to go into that narrative, and the judge's like, okay, that's it, you're done, no more. So he did not get to tell the story about how he got beat up and lost one of his eyes. Terrible. The whole story is just terrible. Now, on cross-examination, I thought the prosecution did a pretty good job of showing that, he was before the shooting of his girlfriend, he was a functioning member of society. He had a job. He was making $1,000 a week delivering chicken. He was delivering the chicken. He was managing the chicken store. He was doing all the hiring, and he had a great job. He was, holding down a good job. He wasn't involved in drugs or anything like that. And during his job at this chicken store, he was actually robbed twice, and he was not afraid to call the cops. At that point, he wasn't afraid of the cops. He called the cops. He reported the robberies. Yeah. So the prosecution did a pretty good job at sort of pointing out that he didn't have this fear of cops until he committed these crimes. Now, all of a sudden, he's got this overwhelming fear of cops and that they're out to kill him. So it was, and he was on the stand for, oh gosh, a good 4 hours or so. After that, they put on the psychologist to testify that he's insane, that he's suffering from these delusions, that he believes the cops are after him. Now, I did not listen to all of that. I will try to catch up and listen to that today, as well as getting you caught up on the Donald Hartung case. I have not forgotten the Donald Hartung case. I just did not have time to watch any of that this weekend. And I do apologize for that. And now we're quite a ways into this, and it's been a very lengthy show, and I apologize. Well, you guys like lengthy shows every now and then. All right, let's talk about this day in history. There was an attempt on President Truman's life, an assassination attempt. This was in 1950, on November 1st, the day after Halloween. These two guys, they're members of this Puerto Rican movement to gain independence from the U.S. So they decide, and I don't know why they're after Truman. Truman was kind of like in their corner, so I don't know what they were hoping to accomplish. So they walk up at 2:00 in the afternoon. They didn't have like a really good plan. At 2:00 in the afternoon, they didn't even know if Truman was home. He wasn't at the White House because the White House was being remodeled. So he was staying down the street at the Blair House. So they knew that, but they didn't know if he would even be there. So they walk up to the front door where there's, security, obviously, and they start firing gunshots. Now, Truman is there. He's up on the second floor. He's not affected by this at all. In fact, after it's over, he just continues with his schedule for the day. So, of course, the security shoots back, and they kill one of them. The two men were Gracilio Torresalo and Oscar Collaza. So Collaza, which one was killed? I'm trying to think. Yeah. So the first guy, Torricello, he's killed in the gun battle. There's another gun battle. He's killed. Collazo survives, and he's sentenced to life. He's actually sentenced to death. He gets the death sentence, which later President Truman commuted it to a life sentence. He says, like, no, this guy doesn't deserve to die. He commuted it to a life sentence. Yeah, very sad. But so that is what happened on this day in history. 1950. I wasn't born yet. Not even a thought in my mother and father's mind. Nope. So that's the show for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I am off to work. Oh gosh, I gotta get going. I'm ready to go. I just got to put my shoes on and head out. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. It's Monday. Don't forget, there's Scrapping Like a Lady. Check her out. She's at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, followed by a whole bunch of other people that are live. But check out Scrapping Like a Lady, because I just love her. Anyway, take care, everybody. I love you.